Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. I have a question that came into customer service, and this one's from Tom Carbone. He says, subject is aim and alignment. Your message: I enjoyed the daily today as usual, but wanted to ask a related question. Don, you always compare aim line with the toe line. What about the shoulder aim line? I think my toe line is closely parallel, so that would be correct. Parallel left of your aiming line for the toe line to the aim line, but I continually drift into a situation where my shoulders are aimed right, closed, of both my toe line and target line. How often do you see this? Any quick fixes you can suggest? By the way, what is really weird in putting, I have the opposite problem. Toe line parallel to target, but shoulders open and aimed left, causing misses left. Okay, see, that's good to get from Tom Carbone. Normally, that's very unusual, because normally whatever we see with someone in their long game, it also comes into the situation of the short game being the same way, including putting. So if someone has aim problems one way on the long game, they very likely have it in putting. If they have a setup issue, it'll be right through the whole swing, right down to putting too. So the key becomes this. Let's get some lines down. I'm basically a sucker for alignment questions, because as you know, if you've been on this site any reasonable amount of time, you know that the number one surgism for alignment is alignment, alignment, alignment. Don't play golf without it. And the other number, I guess we could call them both number ones, I think they're so important, is the fact that I say 90 to 95% of all swing problems arise out of alignment. So if it's 95% plus of all problems come out of alignment, I think it's very simple to say logically and rationally that alignment is pretty darn important. So let's try to clear one thing up really quick. Number one, anytime I mention any line, toe line, knee line, hip line, shoulders, or eyes, that means that, and we talk about toes more than anything because this line is right on the ground parallel of the aiming line there. Whenever I say toe line, I'm also 100% meaning knees, hips, shoulders, and eyes. Now Tom's question is, he says he thinks he gets his feet down pretty good, but his shoulders start getting a little shut out here. So if the shoulders are shut, that means the hips are shut. Now, I actually struggle with that a little bit. DJ struggles a lot with it. I think almost any golfer who gets into the master setup position, which is we want the right arm always a little bit below the left arm at address. So when we do that from a front arm view, you see that it puts a little bit of more tilt in my body, especially when I get preloaded heavy right, my arm's here, and it gets the arm down and the shoulder down, which lets us lift the club up better. But if we tend to pull that elbow in too much, it's very easy to let the elbow, as it comes in, to do what? As I pull the elbow in more, it can pull my right shoulder back, which pulls my left shoulder out, which would also include the hips, and then I'm aiming out to the right. So you see, if I stand in here, and I'm going to just do this, and my arm is here, and I get that in too much, it can shut me down. So as important as the master setup position is, where that right arm comes under a little bit and gives us that better tilt, because again, as I say to folks, if you stand here and a lot of people stand here and they get their right arm straight and their shoulders up, their right arm's high, you can't lift you can only go so far, and you can't lift until you have to let everything change and do that, and that's how you get a flip in the club. So your shoulders have to be down and relaxed so that you can lift your arms up. So, but if we happen to get that arm a little bit too under, it can close the shoulders. So it's really critical, and that's something you always, always, always have to be careful of. I mean, that's one of the number one things I look at anytime I stand here and I make a pretty good, I make a pretty good swing, and if you did a good swing and your shoulders were a little too open, that'd get you a little bit deep, and if you swung straight down from there, you could be hitting great, beautiful, powered, dead solid, perfect straight shots, say to right center, or 20 yards right of your target, just nut it out there. There's a good chance that, and you put and you're saying, and you do your test like I've always said, come in here and then you hit that good shot the wrong place, put the club down and walk behind by your toes and walk behind and check it. And if your toes are correct, then I think on a shot like that, then you could be pretty certain that your shoulders and hips were a little good close, which means you got a little bit deep and you just swung straight down that line out there. Because the only way a ball can be hit dead solid and go straight is the club had to be, effectively, it changed from your shoulder point, it changed your aiming line out there so that you're on, square and solid. Club approaching the ball on the aiming line, strike it on the line and be square, leave on the line accelerated, hitting it solid in a straight line, had to be out there. That line technically got changed because your shoulders were aimed to the right. So, as important as the master setup position is, right on below it, it does have the probability that if you get into it a little bit too much, it can close your shoulders. Okay? And that can change, that can have you hitting the ball dead right, or if you get up there too much and then you try to save it, it can cause you to flip it and then start hitting pulls. So toe line means toes, knees, hips, shoulders, and eyes are all parallel left of your aiming line. Toe line goes all the lines all the way up. Whenever we reference that, when I say toe line, when you say toe line, when you think toe line, you want all your lines of all your critical parts. Knees, hips, shoulders, and eyes are always parallel left to make good swings, hit the ball solid straight, right where you wanted the ball to go, down your aiming line. Okay? Well, that's it for the search for today on alignment. Alignment. Don't play golf without it, because 90 to 95% of all swing problems arise out of alignment. That's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.